traditional one. This you may use your phone IP-enabled device with the modem. Okay, then you use the traditional phone system and dial-up to get the internet access. But I do such things. I think maybe 20 years ago, when I was in university. Around 20 years ago. Yeah. So of course, it's too difficult to see this kind of case right now. So usually, we will concern is in this case and in this case. This case is for the ADSL. This case is for the cable modem. But no matter is from the ADSL or from the cable modem, there will gateway router. What is gateway? Yeah, gateway router means it's the gateway between access network and the internet access provider network. It's a core network, and then the core network they have the key component is the AAA. It's authentication, authorization, and the accounting. I will explain it in detail later. Yeah, so it means no matter you use which kind of access technology. That means it can be the ADSL, it can be the cable modem, or it can be the WiMAX or Wi-Fi. It's just about the access technology. But what we do concern for the LI is for the core network. How to get the information from core network? We do not rely on the access network. Okay, so yeah, in this picture it also implied. You can see this node is this point for the interception. This point, the gateway router. Yeah. Okay. So next page we will talk about how to do lawful interception for the internet access service. Okay. You can see this is a guy. Sorry. To get the internet access from his home. This is okay. This might be Tony. Oh no, not Tony. Mary. Mary at highnet.net is an ISP account. Okay. She used this ISP account to get to the internet. But first of all, you should go to the AA server to get the authentication. Authentication means the system will check if the Mary at highnet.net with the password she provides is the same, it's the correct one. Okay. In our database, we have Mary at highnet.net, and the password is correct for this account. So that okay, we say authentication passed, and then it's authorization. It means when we accept she is a valid user, then we will give her an IP address so that you can connect to the internet. It means authorization. The final one is for accounting. Accounting means billing, means the money, means the time for the station. For example, when you dial up, you will get some timestamp, and when you leave, you will have another timestamp. Those information are recorded in the accounting information. So authentication, authorization, and accounting. Okay, so it's again the user can get to the internet. She should get approval from AA, and then she get the IP address. That's important. It comes here because we know usually the subscriber will not get the same IP address. In each station, they may get different IP address. Because we say it's a dynamic IP address. So in this case, we cannot to intercept the subscriber by his IP address, because IP address in each time it belongs to different persons. So what we can do is we should intercept the subscriber. We should know this connection. We should know the red line, because in here we will know this account and what IP address he have at that time. And then at that time we use that IP address to intercept this user. But when the session is time out or it's just ended, we cannot intercept that IP anymore, because that IP is not related to that account anymore. This is very tricky. So usually when we do the internet access interception, we cannot rely IP address based interception. We should rely on target based. It's targeted by ISP account. But how? So you should get ISP account. You should use the ISP account to filter the data. Otherwise, it cannot be a target based or interception, and you might intercept the wrong guy, because at that time the IP is used by Tori. Maybe next time, maybe 10 minutes later, the IP address is used by Tom. Okay, so you mix our communication. So of course you that's a big mistake. So we cannot allow to do that. So this is very important. We must filter the data for the subscriber by his account, instead of his IP address. But of course, another issue maybe you ask, how can you get his account? Yeah, this is another issue, but maybe we will talk about that later. Okay, it's internet access service interception. We can use this one. It's again, you can compare this picture to this picture. The mediation device will focus 2 points. One is in the AAA, one is in the edge gateway, or you could say in the current network technology, the edge gateway usually is we call it a broadband race. Broadband race. So the AA server will provide information about the guys, the Mary. Maybe he log in the system and when log out the system and what the circuit, we call it the circuit ID, because circuit ID usually means the location. So those information you will get it from the AA server. And then the blue line is the real traffic generated by the subscriber. Okay, the traffic will from the edge gateway to the media device. So there are 2 points, the AA server and the edge gateway. So when we want to intercept one internet access service provider, I usually ask them, what's your model of your AA server? Your model, your vendor name for AA server, and then your vendor name, vendor for the edge gateway. So if you know their vendor, you can know if they have the LI module, built-in LI module, and for example, AA server, if the operator buys bridge routers, they have LI function, but very expensive. If the operator they use the Juniper broadband race, it's good news because you don't need to pay for their LI modules. So it's case by case. But if you know that, it's better for you to make a decision. Okay. So in Taiwan case, yeah. So usually, because Bridgewater AA server is very expensive, so few people will buy that. It's good luck. It's good news for us. So they usually buy some AA server. So in AA server, even they don't have the AI module, we still can do the passive interception. We just capture all the AA server traffic and then we analyze the packet so we can know all of information for each packet. Of course, we only retain the packet for the specific target. We will not retain all. We must capture all, because so that we can pick out the target we want to intercept. And then we got those AA messages, and we can see in that message we can see the target account and his IP address, and then use that IP address and talk to the edge gateway and say we want to filter this IP address in this station, only in this station. Okay, this is what a mediation device do. So in some time, if you have, in some cases that AA server do not have LI module, buffer race or edge gateway do not have passive, do not have LI module. You should not. What you can do is only passive interception. It's still doable, but usually you should, yeah. Again, it's about cost. It's about cost because when we use wiretapping, we should use some hardware. We call it a tap. It's tap. A tap is just to tap the physical lines. So if you have many physical lines, of course, you will be much more expensive. The cost usually depends how many physical lines you want to tap. Yeah. For decision, what we do is software. We do not make the hardware device. But if you need quite a lot of tap, yeah, you know. But when the traffic, so this is just a judgment. It's by yourself, and then you can see the real case by case, really case by case. Okay. This is target identification of internet access interception. So why should we talk about this? Because in the current world, we can get the internet access by different way. You can use the Wi-Base, you can use the ADSL, you can use the 3G, you can use maybe 4G, and in different cases they have a different identification for the subscriber. For example, radius name, actually it's radius username is usually for the ADSL network, and the MSSDN is for the 2G or 3G, and the IMSI is for 2G and 3G, and in the WiMAX you may need the chargeable user identity, and in some case the police will want to intercept the data not by his account but by his MAC address. Yeah, it's still doable. We can do that because the MAC address information will be recorded in the AA message. So it implies that if that information is in the AA message, you might use that as the filtering criteria. It's possible because the parameter is recorded. Okay, so the MAC address, I mean, it's not. For example, you use a notebook and you connect to a ADSL modem and you connect to the internet. The MAC address means the MAC address for that modem, but not for your PC, for that modem. So you can use that modem's MAC address to intercept the traffic This means all the traffic across this modem will be recorded by us. Okay, this is for your information. Yeah, again, this is about the handover interface HI2 in the parameter in IP network. Yeah, again, the most important parameter is LID. Okay, the idea is very similar like the telephonic one. Okay, let's talk about the case study. So the active interception for ISP. This is a real case. But of course, I just the network diagram is simple. It's not so complicated like the real one. For example, this is Chunghwa Telecom. Chunghwa Telecom is the biggest telecom network, has the biggest telecom network in Taiwan, and they have 3G, and they have ISP. So their ISP is called the HiNet, H-I-N-E-T. And the HiNet, there's around, I think they have 10 million subscribers. 10 million subscribers. But of course, not every user is active, but I think around 10 million. Okay, so in their system, they have many baud rates. Because the baud rate is just, it's just the gateway between the access network and the core network. Chunghwa Telecom's HiNet, their ISP, have 200 baud rates. 200. Now I only have 3 here, but actually, that operator has 200 baud rates. And some smaller ISP, maybe they only have 5, 6 baud rates. But the Chunghwa Telecom is the biggest one. So they have 200 baud rates. So if you want to do the active interception, it means we will intercept the subscriber, rely on their LI module instead of bypassing interception. So in this case, we will set up a mediation device, and the mediation device will send a command to each baud rate to say, hey, I want to intercept some account, some ISP account. And if that ISP account, if that subscriber come to internet, please forward their data to us. This is what the mediation device do. So so this MD will connect to each baud rate. So if there are 200 baud rates, you just need to connect to 200 baud rates and send command to 200 baud rates and wait their response. So in some simple case, it means if the subscriber is fixed, that means it never leave his home, because my fixed ISP is for 8 years old. So that's possible. The possible one is you can only provisioning the target ID on one single baud rate, because it's not a mobile. The home just you always connect to some baud rates to the core network. In this case, it will be easier so you don't need to provisioning one target to all the baud rates. But however, right now we have the scenarios about Wi-Fi. So HiNet provide the Wi-Fi facility for their subscriber. It means you can just use your ISP account to log in to some Wi-Fi spot in the metro city. So that means in this morning, they may go to internet from this Boba race. Maybe in the noon, they go to maybe to the Taichung. They will get internet from this Boba race. And then they maybe go to Kaohsiung. They maybe go to this way. So that means the subscriber will not be fixed on single point. If that's the scenario, you have to provision the target on every Boba race to avoid leakage, because you cannot focus where he is right now. This might be his home, but he may go to the, for example, you go to the 7-Eleven or go to a Starbucks, you can get the Wi-Fi, and then you may go to a different race to the internet. So the only way to avoid the leakage is to provision in the target. For example, you might have 5 targets. You have to provision 5 targets on this one, this one, this one, so that to avoid leakage. So, but this is for some complicated case. If you can make sure the subscriber can only connect to internet from his home, from this line, that's okay. You can just provision to this Boba race. You don't need to provision this Boba race. So this is case by case. So how complicated is always depend on how service designed by the operator. Okay, so again, Boba race got the command, got the request, they will just hear. When they found the subscriber online, they just forward their data to the mediation device, and the mediation device send them to the monitoring center. So in Taiwan, we have 2 monitoring centers. Yeah, one of them, we have 2, because one I was handle one of them. I think I spent maybe around 4.5 years to build the Lawful Interception monitoring center system and design the operator mediation device architecture. So I usually say my interception coverage is around 20 million. Okay, this is for the passive one. Yeah, in some case, we will use the passive. This means from the Boba race to the core network to the core router, usually we can use tape to tape all the traffic and filter the data by ourselves, by our system. It means those Boba races are not smart enough to have the lawful interception function. So we cannot filter the data by that. So the only way is by ourselves. So in those cases, all the traffic will aggregate and we will filter the data by some spatial hardware, usually we call it a probe. So yeah, the probe is usually means the some spatial device you can capture a huge volume traffic real time, and maybe you can do some filtering, maybe by IP address or something like that. So again, in the Snowden related news, he say the UK, the United Kingdom, they try to use some probe on some submarine cable, not for the internet, submarine cable. Yeah, But I do not know if it is true. That means, yeah, so the probe is just device, hardware device, and our system will connect the probe and tell the probe how to filter the data, give them some criteria, some parameter, so that they can filter the data only belong to the target, and then send to the monitoring center. Some people, I should not say some, many people will ask me is that, are you forward all the data? Are you going to forward all the data to the LEA, to the intelligence department? I say no, because I don't have so many storage. Yeah, that's true. You don't have so many storage. So even in the technical side, you must try to do the interception in most efficient way. So the only possible one is for the target-based interception. Yeah. So of course, in this picture, you only see 1, 2, 3, 3 tapes. But usually, you may have 100 tapes to tape all the lines.
3%.
Yeah. So I will recommend is, if your system, your network scale is smaller, you may, for example, just like you have only maybe 3 global rates. Yeah, passive interception could be a good solution, because you don't worry about what's the vendor for the global rates. Yeah, you just use some maybe some tapes to implement the passive interception. But if the network scale is too huge, like you have, maybe you should cover 100 global rates. In those cases, passive interception does not work because too expensive. You need to use the active interception. It means you should rely on the AI module on the global rates. So it's just case by case. It's just case by. So in Taiwan, even in Taiwan, HiNet, the biggest one, use the active interception. Some smaller ISP use the passive interception. Yeah. Okay, this is the workflow for the interception. Is for your reference. The LEA is just like the police. They should send some provisioning the subscriber ID on the mediation device, and the mediation device then provisioning the ID on the AA server and the core router's AI module. Okay, this means when I provision it, after that, the target dial-up internet. So when it dial-up internet, the AA server will have a session start message. So in this session, this is much more technical one. I just try to explain that. When the target online, the AA server will send a session start, and then when he finishes the session, it will send a session end. And then in session start, session end, and in between they have some interim update. You can know the what IP address they use in this session start message, and you can know their location change in interim update, because they will give you the latest updated location. You consider this case is for WiMAX. So it means when I provision on the system, and then the target online, those, and then he have finished one session, we will get 4 IRI, the session start, session end, and interim update 2. So we will, the red one is IRI, you will get 4 IRI. And then the blue one is the package. The package you will get. This is for one session. So maybe next time you will log in again and log out. This is another session. This is just to show you one session. So your system should identify, because actually your system might monitor several targets simultaneous, not for only one. So yeah, you should do the correct correlation to identify, oh, those packets belong to this target, those packets belong to that target.
This is for mesh network with a moving target.
Sorry?
This is for the target on the operator. Let's say he is moving to one access point.
Yeah.
So this is that's why the IP is changing. From
If you use WiMAX, their IP will not change because they use so-called the mobile IP. It means even they change their location, they may go very, very far. Their IP address cannot be changed.
For WiMAX.
Yeah, for WiMAX. But for Wi-Fi,
WiMAX, let's say down.
But usually for Wi-Fi, when you
move,
move, you may just disconnect and then reconnect. So in each station, they may only have one IP address.
We call it there's a handshake of IP address. When I'm moving the IP address will automatically
Okay. So IP address can be okay. So if IP address changed, you will know that in the interim update. But usually the AA server should tell you your IP address changed. So if you can collect all the AA message, so you can know what IP address they use at what time. Okay, so this is what I say very important. You should get the AA message first, so that you can intercept that guy. But of course, again, it just case by case. If you have some detail, and we can explain, and then go get further.
So it's the MAC address that is getting the MAC address of the laptop or the device that the target is using.
It is again, it's the MAC address is about the modem.
No, I mean the laptop. I was using this laptop and I was moving. This is the MAC address that is getting.
No. It's because even you use the notebook to connect to WiMAX or Wi-Fi. The MAC address is the network adapter's MAC address. It's the network.
Modem of the laptop.
It's the MAC address.
Yeah.
New IP.
Hindi.
The IP.
Kasi IP yung moving.
But for example, some special device, something like IP phone, they just have one MAC address.
IP phone is one because it's IP phone. Like
it depends on your system. Some system will keep the MAC address, but some system will not. I mean, for example, your AA system, every network element, it's just case by case. We cannot say you must have. What I can make sure is, if you use the modem dial, they must have they can identify that modem.
But it's a wireless device. Let's say my cell phone, my laptop. It has its own unique MAC address, right?
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, you okay?
Yeah. Then my cell phone. This is a Wi-Fi. It has own unique MAC address.
Yeah.
Depends on you. So that MAC address is stored here. Then wherever I go, that's the MAC address that I go.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
Yes,
but
it's really.
Yeah. But in Taiwan, we maybe I'm not quite sure. Usually we we intercept the subscribers by the phone number or by IP account.
Phone number.
Yeah.
By phone number, by phone.
Yeah.
But the laptop.
But the laptop, but
Yeah.
for the
How can you
laptop.
intercept the
How
laptop?
can you use the laptop? It's
If
moving.
it's dynamic.
Let's say, that's why I was mentioning to
But you use what kind of connection? Just 3G communication or
Yeah, it's a mess. Let's say I'm in a big community and there was
Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the access point was scattered everywhere then, and it was a mess. Now, I was moving 50 kilometers. I was in
okay,
the bus.
okay, I understand. Yeah, in Wi-Fi case, what in Taiwan we do face a for crime investigation is a problem because we have many free public Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
That's the problem. I think it's a leakage. Yeah, and we can because it's public and it's free.
Yeah, it's the
And
same in the Philippines.
I know. So in that case, we use MAC address. That's true.
Address.
We use MAC.
Even in the jeepney in the Philippines is opening a free Wi-Fi
Yeah.
in the bus.
But it still depends on your hotspot. Because I have checked that if you use some like the Aruba, they will record the MAC address. But some city they just give them. Yeah. So it might be.
Pero na-intercept ba yung MAC address?
No, I mean the MAC address is permanent on my cell phone.
But the system can intercept the MAC address.
No, hindi nga in-intercept yung MAC address eh. Inaano niya, pinipinta niya yung
Yung data lang.
data eh. So, inaano ko, how then this system can identify that it still
Okay.
is me.
Oh.
I think we can explain that.
But yung Sergey, nakikita niya.
Yeah, he is telling that it was not MAC address, it was not IP. So, how come? But the target
it's
is moving.
dynamic,
Yeah? The target is moving. So,
How can you identify that?
how can you identify a secret?
You mean Wi-Fi?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
You mean Wi-Fi people moving?
Yeah, I mean, for the cell phone, for the IP phone,
You get the-
it's okay because it has the number.
Yeah.
But for the laptop doesn't have the number and all it needs is to access the internet. So all that I can see on the laptop that is the unique is the MAC address of the laptop.
Okay. You mean, okay, let me repeat it again and you say if I'm correct. So you want to intercept the subscriber by its MAC address, right? And then if the guy may be roaming or roam to another hotspot, still you can capture.
The MAC address. Yeah.
If if their MAC address information is retained in the system in some element, and then we can make some correlation. I mean, the MAC address and the IP address, their subscriber account, so that we can do that. What we do in Taiwan is that, for example, you give me
It's
some.
different.
What
It's
you're
different.
doing in Taiwan?
It's different.
Okay.
How do you make the correlation? I think that's what I was trying to say. How do you, like you said, you make the correlation, so how do you make the correlation?
Yeah, because the correlation depends on the parameter in the radius message. So in your case, let me explain the real practice in Taiwan. For example, you give me the MAC address, and in Taiwan we will check. We'll go to operator. Oh, sorry.
That's like a hybrid.
The most difficult one is if you give me is the MAC address. I don't know how this guy to connect to the internet system by which operator, right? We don't know. You may go in Taiwan. We have maybe 3 major operators. Yeah. So because if you want to intercept, you should know the operator. Otherwise, you cannot know which way to do the interception. So this is a problem. So this is a problem.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. So what we can do is that the operator, they will do so-called the data retention. The data retention is that they will return some communication behavior logs. Usually it's radius message in their system, and then you can check. They have maybe in the 6 months data retention period. I think in European it's usually 6 months, but in some country maybe more than maybe one year. It could be longer than that. So we use that MAC address and then we query all the data. We ask, for example, there are 3 operators. We give every operator say, please
Yes, ma'am.
check do we have any log for this MAC address?
You have to inform them.
Yeah.
It's not
Otherwise,
automatic.
how can you
It's
start
not
to?
just gonna go through the network and
Yeah.
find it. So like if you're sucking it up, if you have a site that you're just gonna grab the information and then hope that MAC address is there, it'll sort it out for
So,
you.
you need to inform them.
This is so data retention is still very important for the crime investigation because in some cases you do not know your target's ID, right? Just like in your case, you only know the MAC address, you don't know their phone number. If you have no number, it's easier because you can know.
With IP
Yeah.
But with the computer,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the problem is that in some cases you don't know. For example, another case is that you know some IP address. You think it is malicious IP address and it do some bad behavior in your system, and you want to know who is behind that IP address. For example. Yeah, but as we say, the IP address is dynamic, so you just know some IP address. So you check to each operator, hey, if the IP address is assigned by you, and yeah, of course, at least one operator will say, hey, this is mine. Yeah, this is mine.
Can you use the MAC address, like at a school? You know, let's say you have 1,000, 2,000 laptops.
Yeah.
They're not all gonna have IP or the dynamic is too much, but they all have the MAC address. Can't you
Yeah.
use a MAC address to then monitor those students?
Yeah.
Because once they register, then you've got them. If you're in that same network,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same thing. So you can use a MAC address at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the school it's easy in the school because it's only goes into
You
one
know where
operator,
they get where they get
one
connect.
server.
Huh?
You will know where they will connect.
Yeah,
But the problem is for the public.
No, the public,
For the public,
but
you don't
the
think
area.
that. Even on the IP,
But in school.
even if you have, I don't think that you just tap in and it just sucks up. They got, like even in Taiwan, they got to sort of find where the location, like the net cafe
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
using, and then they tap in. They don't
They know
just
the
stick
provider.
it out there and then
Yeah.
they suck up that IP address.
Okay. Let me draw. Let me turn on the light.
I don't think the Philippines, by law, they have them capturing like Thailand and everybody else. The Philippines,
Yeah, that's what we are
the
discussing.
Philippines doesn't do it.
That's what we're discussing.
They don't, they didn't put that in the law, but see, the thing is like Thailand makes it mandatory for all the ISPs to capture all the raw data.
That's what we were discussing this earlier. This week.
Okay, this might be a Wi-Fi hotspot. This is PC1, PC2, and they connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot, and then maybe go to the IP cloud. So when we talk about a MAC address, this hotspot have MAC address. This PC has MAC address. This PC has MAC address.
Yeah.
So different MAC address, right? So usually this one is much the A server. They must have this. They will record the Wi-Fi hotspot's IP address, the MAC address. But the problem is, who is the one to keep the MAC address of the PC1 and the PC2? But usually those information is in hotspot, because MAC address is only layer 2.
So ganun nga ate. So,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's a different level of
level 2.
network
So,
model.
yeah, so only hotspot knows that. So if the hotspot do not keep the log,
Because in the OSI level, it's
Yeah,
That's
in the,
really, but that's the loopholes there because
but some hotspot can have the function. You can send the syslog to the backend system. So I just want to show you a real case in Taiwan. I did 2 years before. We just meet such kind of the problem. Yeah. So we asked if your Wi-Fi hotspot can forward the log for the MAC address to the backend system, so that I can have the MAC address. Otherwise, I can't. Yeah. Because it's layer 2, but you know that the MAC address is in the layer 2 information. A server, the backend cannot see the MAC address of the PC1. Only the Wi-Fi spot can see the MAC address. Yeah. So we asked the Wi-Fi spot to send the syslog, because we had so many Wi-Fi hotspot, so centralized send to some system to keep all the syslog, because for their MAC address, just like you say. Yeah. So it's just a spatial.
Yeah, because it's different layer.
Yeah, different layer.
It passed through the routers, it's different layer.
Yeah, so just because it's only this Wi-Fi hotspot see the PC's MAC address.
For the layer
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is our experience for your reference. Yeah. Maybe you have much more smarter solution. So we do concern that what Wi-Fi hotspot they use actually in Taiwan's police. Yeah, they do concern that what kind of Wi-Fi hotspot you use. Yeah.
You should know
It should
that
be
they're
the access point, the access
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, it's a point. Yeah, and
That's
they
the-
yeah. And now in Taiwan, even it's public Wi-Fi, they will ask you to log in. I mean, right now,
to the
it's
end.
only in recent 2 years.
Mm.
But login mechanism will be that when you try to connect to the free Wi-Fi,
Mm.
and they will ask you to. They will recommend you use your phone number as a login ID.
Right here.
Yeah.
What in the middle?
They will, cause they will use the SM show message confirmation to give you a password. If you do not want to provide your phone number, you cannot get that password, and then you cannot use the free Wi-Fi. This is what they do right now. So that they can use this mechanism to identify.
For tracing.
Yeah. But I think this might be the only way to try to identify the people connect to the public Wi-Fi. Otherwise, it's just the crime leakage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why here when you bought a prepaid SIM card, they would ask for your name and
Yeah.
like the one that we in the airport, they ask for my passport. But in the Philippines, you can buy a SIM card in the sidewalk without asking
Yeah,
anyone.
see, eventually that'll change, but right now, they're pulling this bullshit,
Maybe.
you know, the freedom and all this other stuff, you know.
It's in the Philippines on the
Remember,
board.
there was a one Senator Congressman who was pushing the registration of
the
that
board only give you
prepaid
one.
card.
Okay.
One password.
It was
Okay.
blocked.
So only.
10 people and
Oh.
one password.
So.
Yeah, that's the case. Like in the food court, when you want to use
that's what I've
the
done.
Wi-Fi,
Yeah, it's free.
the food court give you the password.
Okay.
So maybe
Okay.
hundred of people only using one password.
But in the bus, in the Philippines, in the bus, in the mall, it's free.
Okay.
You can get it. Even at the jeepney is
no
offering
password.
every Wi-Fi and
Okay.
password.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to the final chapter. It's about the monitoring center. So we have spent quite a few time to understand how to set up the mediation device in the operating network. So right now, we want to talk about the monitoring center. So each country has to usually has to set up a monitoring center for remotely intercepting operators. So why we do this? Because usually the monitoring resource should be centralized, and one monitoring center may connect to many operators. So this in our country we have 2 monitoring centers. In our country we have 2 monitoring centers, and they cover every I think at least maybe 10 operators at least 10 operators.
In the Taiwan's monitoring system though, they're providing all the servers and the data storage, there, everything, right?
Yeah.
You understand what that's gonna cost?
That's government.
Yeah, go.
You understand, see, the thing is, if they can then get the telcos in the Philippines to do that, then they tap in. Otherwise, the Philippines, all of a sudden, it's not just buying this little thing all of a sudden for levy. All of a sudden, oh, I see where all the money is. I gotta build a big server room, I got a data center. Oh, no, it's big, ding, 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 right?
Yeah.
You getting it?
That's the data center for that license registration and car registration. It's a big deal. There's a lot of issues.
Yes.
Okay, and usually we have 3 major communication types. One is traditional TDM telephony. and one is VoIP telephony, and the last one is the Internet Access Service. The three major types. So usually we hope our monitoring center can support different operators and the different communication types. And the monitoring center is interface operator network for the interception, and they will follow ETS standard, just like what I told you. Each operator maybe have their mediation device, and the monitoring center connect to several mediation devices, and they talk by the ETSI standard. Yeah. And then we talk about a lot. We talk a lot about how to get the data from mediation device, and then a very important thing is after interception data processing. This means, for example, we might do the live interception for the telephonic service, just like I said, when the target make a call, we can hear their call immediately.
But you cannot hear the
Sorry?
you can hear the target, but you cannot hear the person he's talking to.
Stalking? Yeah.
Only the
In
target.
real time. If, for example, I use the monitor and it might be